Hello and welcome to the Anime Dumpster Dive Seasonal Anime Podcast, where we discuss an anime that is currently airing. Today we will be discussing episodes 6 through 9 of The Rise of the Shield Hero. How many more messes is Naofumi going to have to clean up? Let's talk about it. I'm your host and traveling merchant, Jake H. As always, I am joined by my co-host and chicken girl, DJ.
Hey, chicken man! All right,
And my
chicken man to you.
and my other co-host and undead dragon, Anthony.
Hello.
He was
Hello.
a dead dragon?
Yeah, zombie dragon.
He was a normal.
No, it was clearly killed. They talk about it dying in episode 6.
Yeah, zombie dragon.
Zombie
Anthony.
dragon.
Urgh. You woke me up from my nap.
I summoned zombie dragon in attack mode.
I'm up shit. You woke me.
I summoned zombie white dragon in defense mode.
I think my favorite joke about the zombie dragon is, what an idiot. He didn't even take null berries when fighting Val Hazak.
Because he's a zombie dragon.
He's a zombie dragon.
He's a zombie dragon.
Alright, so, we have a lot to talk about because we missed releasing a podcast a week ago, so we have an extra episode. So let's go ahead and let's get started in it. And so episode 6, we get introduced to a new member of the party. Wait, no. Well, not really new because we already had the race with her, but we get introduced to a new form.
Wait a
Yes.
second. What? Did we do a Shield Hero without me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Because I was I'm pretty sure that was the third episode I watched.
No. Yeah, so we get introduced to Philo, but her human form. Because
Philo's little angel girl form.
yeah, she's adorable.
Little lolly form.
So she, this whole episode 6 it reminded me of getting stuck in a side quest train in any RPG where you go to start buy Philo clothes, and then you're I have to do all of this, and then eventually you get to the point where you can buy Philo clothes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's
That was very side questy.
yeah, but you need magic thread. Huh.
It's
Well, how do I get that? Well, let me tell you.
You gotta get it some magic gems. Oh, you don't have magic gems? How fucking convenient.
Go back to the cave from episode 2.
Again, something I continue to praise with the show is that we didn't get a in-depth description of why magic thread works that way, or why the magic stones that work that way, or how weaving it works. It's just, you need magic thread. And he goes,
Okay.
Sounds legit. I am in a magical world.
All right.
I like that. There's no hand-holding. I'm super happy with that. It continues. I'm excited because I don't have to sit there and wonder how they're going to decipher some new, dynamic that Naofumi has to overcome,
Well, I mean, something we even talked about last time was that he got the books from the
Mage.
herbalist and the mage, and that he couldn't read. But something that they've done is pretty subtle. Is clearly he has fed something to his shield, because his shield is a book every now and then, and you can see that he's reading. So that's probably how he learned how to read.
Fed a book to his shield.
And I just thought that was really cool that they did that.
I agree.
It also this episode quickly turned Shield Hero into a Spice and Wolf type anime where they went around again solving situations of the week, as well as getting a more in-depth look into trade. Mm-hmm. He saves that traveling merchant, and he kind of develops this connection with that guy and learns the secrets of the trade, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I really liked that.
Merchant?
Yeah, that particular scene, where he rides up and they get stopped by the bandits and everything else like that. I thought that was really, really cool. Just because, again, this is just introducing you to, this world and just enveloping you, deeper into and building the world around you, basically. And I really like that. I thought they do a really cool job. I'd say that not this episode, but the next episode, I'd say in conjunction, like the episode 5, I think, episode 5 and 6, in conjunction are probably my 2 favorite episodes so far. And the reason why is because of the storytelling that the different story themes that they use. They're telling the stories of all these other heroes during this whole time, between the two. We find out through the merchant as well, all of the different things that the spear hero and the bow hero and the sword hero are all doing, without even having to see them. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was really cool too.
I did. I like that. You can tell again that this anime is a Naofumi story. Mm-hmm. So we don't get like a weird cutaway scene of like one of the heroes like doing something and then going, I wonder what Naofumi's up to, and then like cut to Naofumi. It's like
we don't really care about them either.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Like we learn about them. We learn the information that Naofumi cares about. Like he hears that the spear hero saves that farm with a magical seed. Mm-hmm. And he goes, "Fucking bitch."
Yeah, oh. Right.
And you're like, oh. Speaking of that, it's later in episode 6. They go into that area and he reads that like description, or the mage reads that description of the of like, oh, this is our our cure for hunger that got twisted into something evil. I did not connect the two. Until I rewatched the episode with somebody and they went, oh, so Spear Hero planted that seed. And I went, what? Yeah. Oh my god.
And it was evil.
I didn't until they blatantly said it in the show. Then I was like, oh, I'm dumb. I'm dumb.
Just like, I thought it was just going to be something that would be brought up later.
Uh-huh. Yeah, right?
I don't know. Well, it did get brought up later, but it had a direct connection with someone. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, thankfully, they didn't have to Sherlock Holmes it too much. Mm-hmm. Like, for me, I didn't have to sit there and rack my brain and try and figure out the solution.
Anthony,
yeah.
Let me tell you what happened with the seed. You see, I planted it. 6 days ago. Only you were paying more attention.
Shows flashbacks of him planting it, watering it.
No, I thought that was really cool. And just enveloping Naofumi, deeper into this world. While he has just a surefire hatred for it, you can definitely tell that at least for the people, he's starting to at least have this, I don't know, I kind of wanted to bring this up, like this sense of duty and justice.
There's more people who like him, so he likes them.
Yeah.
I feel like he, like, in his core, he knows that he was, like, brought here for a reason, and he can only do things that, like, he can do things only he can do. Right. So I think that's where, like, Naofumi is still a good person, so he's like, I should do this. But he's also doing it where I feel like he's not setting up anyone to put him on a pedestal. Mm-hmm. Like, so that way, like, no one's going to overly praise him. So, like, he's like, yeah, I'll save your town, but you're going to have to pay me. You're going to have to pay me to save your town. That's how this works.
He's like, I'll take you there, but it's going to cost you.
Exactly.
He's like, but I have no money. He's like, well, you're going to have to pay me eventually.
And he also, this episode gains like kind of a weird alias, which is the savior of the heavenly fowl.
Yeah.
Which is such a long name. Like, that's almost a different anime title in its own.
I know, what?
Heavenly fowl. Heavenly Fowl, the story of the savior of the Heavenly Fowl. It's a good anime title.
And then we kind of get a couple scenes of the new dynamic of having a third party member in there. And I meant to ask you guys, what do you guys think of this, of adding Philo to like the fighting party, as well as do you think it has changed the action, like the action of the anime, much in just what
really.
We've seen?
I knew there was going to be something. I don't want to spoil later, but even back when it was still a chocobo, I was like, that thing, I don't think that thing's going to last very long. I was like, that's just a little too cool for him to have. Like, he gets to suffer. That's it. But I think it works.
It works?
Yeah, I mean, I think it works with his style, he's doing... He's the support, so now he's got two people in his party to support.
I liked it. I think that it adds a very interesting dynamic. I love the relationship that Raphtalia and Philo are starting to like gain and really fall into, like this whole like little sister big sister type of role, but they're all simultaneously like trying to fight for Nafumi's love and affection. Like, it's cute. It's cute. I
liked her song.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's like, next time I see the shield hero, I'm gonna get him with a full-powered kick.
I do
the shield hero, the spear hero.
Yeah, Spirit Hero.
I do
Yeah,
like them a lot, and I think a line that is still one of my favorites, and it's possibly going to be one of my favorite like gags that they do, is the Naofumi treating Raphtalia like his daughter, because like when they're getting Philo measured, the seamstress is like, well, "Isn't that right, like father?" And then Philo's like, "Oh, are you my dad?" He goes, "I'm more of your owner." Like Raphtalia is more of my daughter, and Raphtalia's like, "I'm not your daughter." And he goes, but that's not important.
Doesn't she say? Doesn't she say like, "I thought you were her owner," and he's like, "No, she's more like my daughter."
Yeah, she's like, "Yeah, she's more like my daughter." And Raphtalia's upset about it. Like, what?
He's like, "Notice me, senpai. Notice me."
yeah.
And so that's something I've been enjoying. But something like I really enjoyed and really praised in the wave attack was how seamless Raphtalia and Naofumi work together to attack and defend. And I haven't really gotten much of that like seamless fighting since, because it seems like Nafumi's taken more of this role of just kind of like a bystander in these past few episodes of watching other people fight. And
the combat has taken a backseat too a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they're like got to give praise where praise is due. When they fight that like monster in the cave, there's that really cool scene where Raphtalia turns invisible and it can hear her steps, so it strikes at her and she like fucking limbos it and like dodges away. I was like, that's really cool and really well animated.
Yep.
And then they kill it with like a kick. And then
Philo.
yeah, Philo kills it. Which just reaffirms my fear of giant birds. And and also kind of was like, oh, well, like that's cool, but I kind of wish that the fight would have been more choreographed instead of it just leading up to make its ears bleed, stab it real quick, and then kick it in the face.
Right.
And so
I mean, that's an efficient way to kill anything.
Efficient way to kill anything, but not very entertaining way to kill anything. And so I, again, I enjoy the new character. I enjoy Philo. I don't like hate her or anything, but I just feel like with her involvement in it there, Naofumi hasn't quite figured out what to do like with her because he's so used to just protecting one person. So I think that eventually by the next wave he's going to get used to it, and then we're going to get back to our like the action. But just right now I haven't been necessarily happy with the action, but it's not something that's making me dislike the show by any means.
Right. I definitely would say that these previous episodes, or I mean most recent ones, at least 3 episodes back, so far I've definitely taken more of a slower kind of pace. You know, I'd say that this is more so into like our heavy character development. Like we're starting to learn so much about Nafumi's character, starting to learn so much about like how Raphtalia reacts, you know, and how this whole, I don't want to call it a family, but like this team dynamic that they're all kind of growing into, you know, is kind of developing, and I'm really interested to see how it goes. I'd say for the I don't want to call it a chimera fight because I didn't see 3.
Yeah, it only had like 2 monsters.
Things, so
it was like a lion and snake.
Yeah, the lion thing.
The lion.
I would say that was a really good way. I personally liked that scene a lot. I felt that they did a really good job of demonstrating how much more powerful the monster was than all of them.
The snake.
Like they had to. It wasn't like they just took the monster on like with brute force and like, you know, more so of like a head-on approach. They had to really think the fight through, and like that to me, like I thought that was a really interesting kind of point. Just because they don't show like necessarily how weak they are or under-leveled, it's just that they have more experience to kind of gain from, you know, killing all the monsters, you know, and even still, like moving on to the next episode too, even with the fight, you know, with the giant tree, like it felt a little easy, you know, in my honest opinion. It was like, oh, well, that was kind of, Anticlimactic.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense, Jake. Like, he's getting used to supporting more than one person, so right now we're only seeing him support one at a time.
Yeah.
It's like when your healing abilities in a video game are like single target, and then you finally get those double target ones, you know?
Mass heals and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think like the more he gets used to fighting alongside them, the better the action will become. But like right now, it does seem like they're just taking out things with quick one hits.
Because at first, when he was with Raphtalia, it was like he just held up his shield and yelled at her to cut things. It
wasn't very action filled. It was really just kill this rabbit. Kill this rabbit.
Kill that rabbit, please, before it eats me.
So Anthony brought up that in episode 7 they fight that tree thing, and so let's go ahead and let's go over to episode 7, and we start out with Naofumi. Does he stumble across it, or does he take someone there? How does he end up at the village with that has been overran by this like plant?
He's got to run an errand.
Is that when he takes the guy to his like dying mom, or no?
No, that's what he has to run some medicine to the guy's dying mom, and like that's what he has to go do. Is he has to run these goods, you know, specifically for the guild, not the guild master, but the merchant guy.
Oh, okay.
Right, and then he shows up, and then like his mom, the guy's mom, he's like running along the side of the road, and then Naofumi picks him up.
That's in episode 6. That's where he first starts. That's where he first starts his like traveling stuff. I think though he is doing an errand for the merchant, and he ends up going there. Mm-hmm. And again, something I continue to really praise with the show is that there is almost no buildup or draining things out. Like, we learn about the evil seed and the spear hero planting the seed the episode before this, and then it comes to fruition the next episode.
Yep. Yeah.
I'd say the longest part was the hearing that the sword hero killed a dragon in episode 6, but then that happens in, like, episode 9. Oh my god, I can't count. We're talking about episode 7, 8.
Yeah.
7, 8.
Episode 7, 8.
6, 7, 8. Oh,
yep,
right.
6, 7, 8.
It's gonna be fun to edit out later. So, we hear about it. Eventually happens in episode 8. So, yeah, I'd say that's the longest part. But when they finally get there and they do that whole interaction, it's... while the action may not be that interesting, Naofumi as a character and just showing how smart he is and the way he approaches a problem, instead of going head on like the other heroes, thinks of the repercussions. Like... for example, they to bring up the sword hero killing the dragon. He killed the dragon and didn't think anything was going to happen with the body left. And Nafumi's like, I killed this plant, but this village who was starving can't eat these veggies, and they are overrun with a fucking vine, like weed. So there's no way they can plant anything, and they're going to use all their work to get rid of all these vines. They're going to be like done for. But he never says any of this out loud. He just like sits there and he thinks. And then he alters the fucking evil seed into a mass-producing, like, pepper plant. Mm-hmm. And I just thought that was really cool. Like, I thought, like, what a fun way to go about fixing their problem.
Mm-hmm. And then I remember, weren't we talking about maybe a theory on what type of games he plays or something like that?
Oh, yeah. Because they were talking about it in, like, one of the threads, is that the video game we see Naofumi playing before he gets sucked into the book is more of a Civ game instead of like a RPG.
And that just makes sense, like why he thinks like that, you know? Mm-hmm. If that's the type of game that he plays, versus like he's the hero. He's like, oh, but this monster's dead, sure, but how are these people going to eat? You know, how are they going to defend themselves? Stuff like that is what it's what he thinks.
Yeah, like that. Good job bringing that up, because I forgot about that part.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, it's effective character development as well. I mean, like, I think we've all said this at one point in time that Naofumi, thankfully, the writers have done an excellent job of creating an intelligent character that's not only demonstrated in the things that he does, but also in an effective manner in like the writing itself. You know, and that show versus tell. They're showing us his actions, and how he does think these things through, and in a very effective and intelligent manner. It's awesome. I love it.
This, while slow, this whole arc, like the Naofumi cleaning up messes arc, is may not be like as visually entertaining, but is just very fun to watch still. And like you've said, it's definitely developing Naofumi as our hero that we'll see like continue to do this stuff, as well as develop that relationship between Raphtalia and Philo, which brings us into the second half of this episode, which is the Hot Springs episode. We don't get a full Hot Springs episode, but we get half a Hot
Almost.
Springs episode. Yeah.
How you feel? How you feeling, DJ? What are your thoughts here?
Might as well. We've got an anime. Where's the Hot Springs episode? Oh shit, I forgot. Throw it in there.
If this part of the episode felt weird to anyone else, it's probably because this was a bonus chapter in the manga. Not even really part of the full canon.
Like should have been an EVA type episode.
Like OVA. Yeah.
OVA, whatever. Yeah.
It should have been an OVA.
I know things. OVAs.
But it was cute. It helped. It was kind of like a Raphtalia, Philo-focused episode that gave us more of their perspectives on how they see Naofumi. And we get the cute line of Raphtalia being in the bath, like, I can't kiss him, I'll get pregnant. And
yeah.
I was like, that's cute.
Kiss you, I'll get pregnant.
I know, I liked that. That was
Maybe
funny.
that's how they, actually her species, though.
Is they kiss and they get pregnant.
People?
I want to say that
no.
I want to say that it's just the fact that she's like a month old.
She's 10 years old.
She's 10. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah, a month.
Philo's a month old.
Philo's a month old.
Which is Philo has a funny line too.
She's
I want to get on this egg because then he'll pat me. Like he'll give me more head pats and become my mate. And you're like, whoa,
whoa.
Yeah.
That jumped really quick.
Yeah, that was funny. It was funny. It was a very entertaining episode.
Yeah, it was fun. Again, not really very... This half of the episode wasn't very plot-heavy, but developed characters well. And it was cute to see Naofumi get, a gift. Because, again, this guy's been shit on, the entire time he's been here.
Pretty much the whole time.
So it's nice that, he's found, this party that... I guess he's purchased this party that really just straight up enjoys him as a person.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have. Definitely not needed.
Definitely not needed.
Felt like a bonus chapter, so that makes sense that it is one.
Yeah.
Because it totally felt like one.
And then, so that brings us to episode 8, which is the episode that I've been wanting to talk about since we started recording, and that is strictly because of the cursed tree.
Ooh.
Cursed tree?
Yeah, his
gotcha. Yeah.
His shield has that cursed tree evolution.
It was like hacker, almost.
It was. It
was
like
what
speaking
was that
of
about?
Like cheats.
Yeah, what was that about?
God mode, cheat code.
I don't know. It again, we know very little. I'm loving the way they're doing this. That they're just Naofumi doesn't know, so we have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. I do like that. There's no dramatic irony involved.
So, it hits him, and we got a taste of it during the Spear Hero and Naofumi duel, where after he loses, he kind of unlocks it. But then here, after he sees, really quick, did the Philo fake out get anyone?
No, I knew she was alive.
I was like, oh shit. Because I thought that thing was doomed the moment it existed, right?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh shit! And then I was like, I just had a feeling. I was like, he's gonna blast this thing and it's gonna be okay. I was like, they just didn't... After, the initial inception of Philo, when it was still kind of a creature, before it was she and a party member, I thought maybe he'd, lose it. I just don't see this. This show doesn't have the darkness in it, in my opinion, to kill off something that suddenly and brutally.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't have that darkness. It hasn't set it up, so it would be a total. What's the word? A total not genre. not genre shift, but a tonal shift, like a tonal shift. If they just randomly, like other animes that have like surprises like that, you could think of a few, obviously, probably off the top of your head. Usually they have like they start off really dark and then lighten up and then hit you with the darkness again or something like that. So it's not really a tonal shift. It's just maintaining its bleakness, you know. But there's no really bleakness here, other than like in the very beginning when everyone was screwing him over. That really didn't seem bleak though either. That just seemed like a hero's fall, you know. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, it just would have been.
It didn't get me. Yeah, I knew they wouldn't go for that big of a tonal shift like that.
Yeah, I would say that the tonal, like a tonal shift, like something like that, would be completely unwarranted, just because that style or that specific like tone hasn't been established at all during the episode. And I mean, if we're using just context clues here, she's been in the opening since day one.
Yeah.
So. No
it's
way.
Like Attack on Titan's a good example. Like,
oh yeah,
that show starts out incredibly bleak, like super dark, not fun for anybody, right? And then it kind of lightens up, and then later on, you're like, oh fuck, it's back. You know, it still gets you by surprise because you're not expecting it after it's been lightening up a little bit, but it's not a blindside because it's not like. I mean, some anime do that. They blindside you like that.
They do it well.
But I just didn't think this one had the fucking balls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say it that way. It's not like you're not like egging them on to like do it. It's just like to me, it just wouldn't have fit. Like it wouldn't have landed as hard as specifically Attack on Titan. Like that. I know what scene you're talking about. Like it's in the first fucking episode. That's not a fucking spoiler, but it's in the first episode. Yeah, I know what scene you're talking about. That scene lands, and it is effective in creating that dramatic effect that really gets you. You know, and it's in a show like this where I just watched Naofumi and the rest of his party walk around the countryside for the last 3 days. No fucking way.
It doesn't really fit. But like I said, there's other animes that do that. They maintain a happy-go-lucky tone and then smack you in the face with a death like that. And you're like, oh, fuck. Like, and they usually use it as a genre shift, right? But I just didn't see this one going that direction. Like, if it went for a dark tonal shift and then went right back to happy, like, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, like something like ReZero, is a good example of that. They do that fairly effectively, where it's like you'll have a good couple of lighthearted episodes, and then out of nowhere, frickin', next thing we know, our main character's getting his head lopped off. Like it's like they do that effectively.
He's Sufaru. He's going to get some. Sufaru. He's going to get some. You're like, oh, he's happy. It's pretty soon he's going to get his limbs twisted. Yeah, pretty soon.
Yeah. Like another thing that just didn't sell, it just wasn't sold for me.
Yeah,
like,
they didn't sell it.
There was no setup, and like it was kind of just like the reaction to her getting swallowed whole was like a Philo.
No death. Like you didn't see it happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is also really a big tell. In the anime I'm referring to, they're dead. There's no question in it. Like they show you, and you're like, oh my god.
Yo, that person's dead. That person died.
That person is dead.
Yeah, no, getting swallowed whole is not really like a death sentence in like cartoons in general.
Especially in an anime.
Especially in anime. I thought what was going to happen was he was going to like disintegrate the dragon with like that curse shield, and like Philo was going to be like in an egg or something, like kind of like a Digimon, kind of like.
Yeah,
I like what they did with it though. The fact that she was alive. And he didn't disintegrate the dragon. Later on, he's like, if I would have went all out, I would have killed Philo. Because he was alive inside it.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, son, that's smart writing.
Dude wasn't checking his health bars, man. They're up in the corner.
No, seriously.
Look at those.
They're up in the corner.
Seriously.
They flash red on who you need to heal. Come on, dude.
There was just so many other thematic elements that they could have done to make the scene, like, I would say a little bit more effective. Like, for instance, just changing the style of the music. That's it. I think that even just like, I mean, like, like when you're watching a movie and they're trying to convey to you a a suspenseful, scene. Not only does the camera angle change, but the music changes, the mannerisms that the characters are now using.
Yeah, you're
seriously,
right.
Like
they go on a tilt. And
Yep.
I mean, in that scene on Attack on Titan, they go to a tilt shot right away.
Yep.
I think the music cuts. Too.
Yep. It's so effective in showing like holy crap. Okay, this is what's going on. I think that I don't want to call it cheap just because like it introduced us to a very I don't know. It was just it was a device to get us to where we needed to be for the curse tree. But I would have liked to see a little bit more, I guess. I don't know. A little bit more emotion. Like, I love scenes like that. Like, that's the type of stuff that gets your blood pumping. Mm-hmm. Nobody was talking about, like, Episode 2 of Game of Thrones. You know what happened in Episode 2 of Game of Thrones? No. You know what happened during the Red Wedding, though? I guarantee it.
I know that one. Yeah, uh-huh. I remember that one. Yeah, and that's a tone. The music definitely changes in that scene.
Yeah, yeah, but
I mean, like Dragon Ball is another good example. They go totally. They change the art style almost a little bit towards the end when Krillin dies.
Oh yeah,
they draw that, which is not a fucking spoiler. That's 40 years old or some shit.
You've also said it on this podcast before.
Krillin dies in Dragon Ball. He gets kicked in the face by a lizard. All right, that's what happens.
Which one?
Kills him instantly somehow.
Yeah,
but that's
when he gets killed by.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think of.
Dad.
I'm trying to think of the Piccolo servant that kicks him in the face. It's a wood instrument. I just can't think of it.
Yeah.
It's like clarinet or whatever. Just kicks him in the throat.
Like, no. Yeah, but like they draw it a little differently, and the music changes and stuff. They do. They put a whole package together for you. Bassoon is the one.
Bassoon's the one that kicks him. All right, let's get off wood instruments back into Shield Hero, back to different types of shields.
Gotcha.
What do you guys think the curse tree is? Because like DJ brought up a thing that I actually thought about. It's like hex, because it starts speaking in like Leet too. Like it's like, do you hate the world? And there's like threes and numbers in there.
Yeah.
And so I'm like. The entire time I'm watching this, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, did he break the shield? Like, is the shield broken? But it seems like it's part of the shield. Or I have no idea what it is. I don't even have, like, a theory on what it is. Like, how about you guys?
I would say that, like, I have my own, like, speculations and, like, what I want it to turn out to be. Like, previously they've made mention that the shield hero and spear hero, all of the heroes have existed previously in this world at one point in time, right? And they needed to call forth upon the legend once again to kind of revive these characters and bring them back to the world so that they can protect them. I would like to see some sort of tie-in to like the previous shield hero, and that's kind of like what got me thinking. Like maybe this is some sort of like essence that was left behind, because the shield hero apparently was a pretty fucked up guy the last time that he was there, hence the reason why they absolutely hate Naofumi, So,
I think he was more praised.
Do you think so?
Because
he was praised. The animals said that he was sweet.
Yeah, by the people. He was praised by the people, but I don't know if it was not so much by the king and stuff, right?
Yeah, so maybe he got betrayed by the king.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it depends on how this is going to end up. If this is a video game, kind of how some of them treated it in the beginning. They're like, yeah, this is a video game, just like the ones I play,
Uh-huh.
If it is, then I think it's hacker, modder, and that's the big bad is the hacker modder guy, which would be kind of lame. Mm-hmm. But if it's a legit fantasy world they've been teleported into, I think it's just a darker side of the shield that they chose to flavor with that. Okay. Just that's how they chose to flavor it. Mm-hmm. Rather than demonic, they decided to go with because it fits the kind of the whole style.
It does. It does take the regular shield tree kind of has this very elegant look to it. And so I guess a good way to show like the opposite of that is to have like that like leet speak that kind of has like this weird look to it.
Yeah, the balance versus chaos type of thing that they have. So I can agree. I can agree with that. Like I thought that they demonstrated it, really well. Something that this show has done effectively to me is it really hooks you. It really hooks you into the content and into the thematic elements and like just wanting and craving more. And every single time that I get done with an episode, this is probably one of the most recent shows where I've gone, that was 20 minutes? What the fuck?
Yep.
Yeah, it goes by real quick.
Hey,
one thing I've been missing is like obvious and often like new upgrades for his shield.
Yeah.
Like I kind of want to feel those RPG elements a little bit more. Like I want to see him that progression,
There's like little bits of it,
like we see the book and stuff, but like before it was blatant. It was
like we saw
select the leaves to upgrade the shield. Like I kind of want to see more of that. I liked it fit with the just the overall theme of the show, and I liked how he was doing that.
You don't think that's a little too repetitive?
Well, I mean,
I just not like a whole episode of it, but like him like the mage going "Brr, brr, 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 brr," and then he like takes a thing and like puts on his shield and it's like new thing unlocked. Like just little stuff.
Like a good example of it is at the end of this, he feeds that dragon crystal to his shield.
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm not high enough level yet." I'm like, that was enough for me to go.
Yeah.
Ooh,
oh yeah,
that's
when
cool.
you gonna be high?
What does that unlock when he's high enough level?
It's like when you
So
get an epic drop and it's like requires level 50, and you're like, well, I'll see you soon.
I'll be using this.
I totally agree with that particular point, just because like I don't think that up to this point, with these previous 3 episodes, they haven't shown any progression. So like I don't know how strong Naofumi is,
They haven't really grown levels.
Right?
The Philo has passed him up in levels, but it showed like Raphtalia is like level 29, Philo's 28, he's 27. And like I think the last time they showed their levels was like 3 episodes ago, and he was like 24. So they've grown like 3 episodes. I mean, three levels. And somebody said in one of the threads that it doesn't even look like Naofumi and his like crew gained a level for killing the dragon.
Right.
So like I wonder, it makes you just wonder how much the other heroes' parties are killing stuff. Mm-hmm. Because they're like when Naofumi and Mariasu fought, Mariasu was like level 54.
Yeah.
So again, though,
he's still a bitch.
But again, though, I guess the other heroes had the benefit of just like hanging out, like drinking tea, and making like the 4 other people go out there and kill stuff, and just getting levels.
That sweet EXP share.
Yeah. That's sure.
They got an EXP share on all 4 of their guys, so they're just getting
ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
All the XP. So I guess they get that.
EXP.
I do like how Naofumi, like when Naofumi saves the town from the seed, he's like, Mariyasu's a fucking moron. Yeah. But when he fights the dragon, he goes, stupid high school kid. He doesn't bag on him too bad. And I think that's a kind of a small little thing of growth, because he does know that like the sword hero and the bow hero did kind of like side with him with the duel fiasco.
And I think one of them is a bigger, like, oof, too, It's like, oh, you didn't think this dragon would resurrect. That's not that bad of a thing. But then, like, the shield hero was like, they're like, this is a powerful seed. It can go crazy if in the wrong hands. And he was like, meh, okay, sure, I'll put it in this town. Like, come on.
He's so freaking
hero, so this has to be the right hand.
Yeah, he's so freaking gullible, though. You can understand, like, he was probably just told, hey, go plant this magic seed. It gives out food.
Oh, okay. Who are you? I'm the evil merchant. Oh.
I mean, I'm a merchant.
The next episode is called Melty, which is Mine's real name, I think.
Ooh.
And that is bugging me because I'm so afraid, because he's having such a good time, and before I bring this up, he accidentally curses Raphtalia as well when he's in that curse mode, and she has like these burn marks all over, and so I think that might come into play too. But this is something that's worrying me so much, is that they're going to run into the spear hero, and Mine is going to convince people that he that it was Naofumi who fucked up the seed and Naofumi who resurrected the dragon. Like, that's how come, like, Raphtalia is cursed and everything. It's because this is all Nafumi's doing, and, like, we're just going to get, like, another quick episode of, like, fuck Naofumi. And
I think that would be funny.
I'm like,
only if he's like, yeah, bitch. All right,
if he's just like, sure.
been here, done that. All right, I got
He's like, keep trying. Like, keep spamming the same move. Whatever, I'm out of here.
Yeah, they're like, Naofumi, we heard you did this and that. You are a traitor to the cause. Like, yeah, traitor to the cause. All right, I gotta find this thing. All right,
I'm selling things. Okay, get out of the way.
I don't want it to be. I don't want to have that episode just because I feel like that particular, like, it's just overused. Like that, like this far, I just want to win for our boy. That's
he deserves it.
You know,
he deserves to keep on winning. I want another wave just so he can show off like shit that he knows.
He's like, check out my bird, and they're like, a bird? All it's got is a raptor. You have a chocobo?
He's like, hey, remember that raccoon girl who was, like, helped me fund the last wave? Here she is still badass swordswoman, and she can turn invisible now. And look at my giant bird.
How she has, like, powers that would befit a raccoon girl, too.
Yeah. Sneaky.
And pretty much the mage, like, exactly says that.
Yeah.
She's like, make sure you teach her illusion magic, because she's a raccoon girl.
So, you know.
Because, you know, raccoons are sneaky. And you're like, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Is there... you guys have... I asked about the theories on the shield. Do you guys have any theories on what's going on with Raphtalia? I think that... Like, I don't know if it will be a big plot point, like, about her being cursed. I think it might get solved next episode, even. Because they said that they just need holy water, and, like, they do have, like, a deal with the church, like, the big church, so I think they might just go there. But, do you guys have any ideas on what that might be?
It might be, like, a final episode, like, but she's been cursed this whole time, and now she's dying. But that would be lame. I wouldn't want that to happen.
That would be lame.
You know?
Uh-huh.
That would be lame.
It's like, remember when her heart was stolen in episode 2? Well, now she's gonna die because I was the one who stole it, and this is episode 12. Also, the final minutes of episode 12. I'm revealing my grand scheme.
Oh, you killed me with the giant power blast of friendship.
And you're like, damn it. And then it's like, what? You had a giant power the whole time that you never spoke of? I'm dead now.
I'm dead.
Or I've been defeated off screen because of some cosmic entity. That's more like it.
That's more like it.
That's more anime-y.
I don't know. I think that it's going to take more of a back burner. I think that that's what
it won't get solved.
I hope it does. I hope it's like, okay, we got the Holy Rider, or he gets into a couple fights. Like maybe it's a plot point next episode. Like he gets into a couple fights, but she can't really help. So he's got to like maybe learn to fight a little bit better on his own, and then they get the holy water and it's golden. Like, that would be fine.
One thing that stays consistent with this show is that Naofumi has to struggle. So Naofumi will struggle in the next episode. That's what I'm calling now.
You don't think the next episode's going to open with Raphtalia just like cannonballing into like a pool of holy water?
Holy water? Yeah, I wish.
I'm fine. Okay.
That would be fine with me.
Yeah, that would be fine with me.
The worst case scenario is like there's a giant big bad that's been behind the scenes the entire time and we've never seen him, and he shows up in the last 5 minutes of the anime and he goes, I cursed you and her curse has spread to all of you. Now you must defeat me to defeat the curse, and you must go on a grand quest to defeat me into another world of men and women, and and there's also guns there. Also, the only man who can defeat me is my brother. And then his brother shows up, and he's like, I've defeated you. And then there's a third guy, and he's like, I am the father of both of you. I will defeat you both. Classic Jump the Shark.
Did you make Sword Art and Big Order?
I was just throwing shit
just
in
ripping,
there. And just whatever I wanted to say, because that's how sometimes I feel anime. And then the guy's like, I am God. And they're like, we gotta kill God.
Peter House.
That's a stupid name.
And that's the ending. And you're like, what the fuck was that?
Demon King!
I have to say, this show gives me the opposite feelings I've had for Demon King. I love this show. I detest Demon King.
Yes.
Yes,
I agree.
I just, like, there's so many anime. Like, even one of my favorite animes is Future Diary.
Uh-huh.
That motherfucking ending, bro.
Oh, so
Like,
crazy.
Like, it's solid and consistent and good, and then it fucking goes off the fucking deep end. Like, it makes sense compared to other deep end going off anime, like fucking Demon King, right? The king of all going off the deep end.
Demon King was messed up episode 4, dude. Episode 4 to the rest of the end of the season there was no...
The last 2 episodes, though, you're like, I don't know what's happening. And it's not because I haven't been paying attention.
I feel like I blinked and I was like, I missed a very important plot point.
So at least Future
We
Diary
have to kill
has a little
God.
bit
God
of
is a
sense
computer that's,
right? What the fuck?
And there's cards.
It's still crazy, though.
This isn't a Demon King podcast.
No, you're very true. That's very true.
Could do one, though.
We
No.
could do one.
We could do a special. Let's call it a special.
The Halloween special. Demon King.
Demon King Halloween special. Mark it on your calendars. Okay.
Start scared.
You guys have anything else you want to say about these past 3 episodes?
No, they're good.
They're good.
Solid
They're good.
show,
The show
solid
was...
show.
Yeah,
So were
exactly.
the 2 before that. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, DJ was not there.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
like
Anthony, wanna
quite much also.
sign us off?
I absolutely do. Thank you so much for listening so far, and I hope that you're following along with the Rising of the Shield Hero. If not, go back and watch this show and leave some comments down below and tell us what you're thinking. Give us some of your wink, wink, hot takes if you've been listening to our Genlock review podcast.
What?
If not, just leave us a comment down below with one of your favorite points of these last 3 episodes. As always, you can find us down in the description below at our Twitters. Please, as always, send us a tweet. Show us some love on Twitter. Say something along the lines of, let DJ needs to watch more anime. Something like that would work. And then hit that subscribe button so you never miss another Anime Dumpster Dive podcast. And keep up with us on our Genlock review as well.
Anthony, they're wink, wink, hot takes.
Someone's not watching our Genlock review.
Somebody's not watching our Genlock reviews.
If that's what you're saying, I'm a little worried.
All right, thank you
Jeez.
so much for listening. We'll catch you next week for another... not next week. We'll catch you next time with another couple episodes of Rise of the Shield Hero.
Bye, Dad. Love you. Good night.